Hello Leo, welcome to your monthly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of February 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each card and use your own intuition to, take you beyond what I'm saying, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And this is the Prince of Pentacles, just leapt right out of the deck there, and we're going to use that as our focal point for the reading. Okay, so that'll be our first card. We're going to lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread, and I will try to keep these cards nice and orderly for you. We've got that new overhead camera, so I'm still getting used to how to set everything up so it is looking nice and beautiful and centered and everything too. Mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to use the Ancient Italian Tarot deck. It's pre-shuffled, but I just like to take one card from the middle. We're going to put that right here, right there, and we're not going to look at it until the very end. So you got to stick around, right? And we're going to see how that might tie the reading together and give us the confirmation that we need at the very end. Okay, so looking around here, we have some air, we have some earth, major. We've got here some fire, some major, and some more fire. So there's not really a whole lot of water cards here. I'll say that right off the bat. It looks to me like this is going to be kind of something work-related, but I don't want to scare you away, okay? This doesn't mean it's what you do for money. This is something that you're involved in a physical way, something that you're doing with your hands. Could be a creative project. It could be literally anything from gardening to, building something to the work, your employment, and, what you do for money. It's not necessarily what's giving you money, but it's the work that you're doing day to day, kind of what you're getting your hands dirty doing, okay? Let me just check our overhead here. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think we need to go a little bit higher on the path of the serpent here to get everything in the frame. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like the way this setup is going. So first card we had is this Prince of Pentacles, diamonds, coins, discs, whatever you want to call it. Now, this card is representing you, and I think this is your energy right now. I think that you really have a lot of plans. You have a lot of activities planned, it feels like. It feels like not only are you doing very hard work day to day, but you've got plans you've got things in the works for even more hard work tomorrow and in the future, I think that you're someone, and we have this connection with the air, right? Because the prince is the air quality of the element, so it's the air of the earth. This is all of your physical abilities, work, the hard sweat that you're putting into your work, okay? This is you really trying to communicate that, share that. I think bring other people on board, really trying to get something off the ground, get something rolling, right? So I have this feeling like you're doing a lot of work right now, but you're planning even more work for tomorrow, for the next day, for the future. Right? So it kind of feels to me like you're building something, right? Maybe you're building a business. Maybe you're building, literally building like a house or something. You're putting something together that's going to have functions beyond just your building of it, okay? So something like a business, but it doesn't have to be that. I don't want to limit people, their energy, their resonance with this reading by saying, okay, this is a career reading. And if you watch this channel, you know that I'm not about that. I don't like to just kind of pigeonhole a reading and say, oh, okay, here we go. Here's a romance reading for you. Or here's this is a career reading. No, because I think this energy is going to apply to each of you in subtly different ways. Okay, so for some of you, yeah, this might be like, oh, it's this business I'm building. Other people, it might be you're building a car, or you're building a future, or you're building a relationship. Okay? Or you're trying to build some kind of meaning or purpose in your life. See, we're all builders. We're all building something a little bit different, But anyway, your energy this week, you're in this building, but this planning kind of energy also. You're doing hard work now, but you're also kind of setting yourself up for more work later. But, in a good way. Not in a way that is like you're creating more work for yourself. Not in that kind of a negative way, but in a way that is you're building something that's going to be lasting, something that's going to keep you busy for a while, something that I think you really have your heart in this, even though we don't have any of the cup cards. Okay, there's really no water here. We can see this Empress down here beneath the surface. That's a little bit of some water type energy, but that's a major arcana. So I think that card takes the place of any water that we might need in this reading. Right now it feels like a lot of earth and a lot of air. Okay, and that's good. I think earth and air are good. I think that you have this ability to really stay organized, plan things, and then execute and get the thing built. It's almost like you have the instruction manual in your head, the blueprints in your head, and you're just able to put this thing together like from memory. It feels like that. And I don't know what this is that you're building, but again, I feel like it's going to be something that you're going to be working on into the future as well. You're building something now that's going to make more work later, but in a good way, okay? Something that's going to continue to bring, to keep you busy, right? And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. This was crossing your path here at the very center. And I think that this is kind of phase one being completed of this project that you're on. I feel like you've kind of already started this project, even though this card's about beginnings, right? Something new on the material plane. I think you've already attained this. You already have this this newness that you've built. I think that this is like phase one really being completed, right? And then we're going to see how this is moving into the future as well. But I really feel like you've taken the first step, you've reached the first milestone, or you've kind of completed the first phase of this project. So maybe you've already built the foundation, or maybe you've already got the frame together, or maybe you've already established this relationship, and now it's just you got to build on it, right? So something this week is going to be like is going to be that milestone for you, okay? And it could be something that's quite obvious, like you're able to sit back and just like, you're covered in dirt and grease and sweat, and you're just like, damn, I just built that, But that's just the first step, okay? But it's going to be something I think that's going to solidify. It's going to materialize for you this week, but it is just going to be like that first phase of things, maybe the foundation or the frame or something, okay? Now let's talk about these court cards, these air cards that we see. First, let's go to the recent past. Yeah, that's what we'll do. This is a Prince of Swords here in your recent past. So I feel like there was an air sign person in your life, or someone that we can call the air sign person, right? You may not know their astrological placements. They might have air somewhere a little bit more hidden in their chart. They might not be a solar air sign, okay? I don't like being so specific with the astrology stuff, because I'm not just a water sign, you know what I mean? You're not just a fire sign. We have all of the signs in our chart. We have all of the elements, all of the placements, everything. All of the energy is there, just in different configurations for everyone. But this person feels like prominently with this air energy, okay? I think this is someone that you tried to get on board with this project or this life or this purpose or this future, whatever you're building, right? If it's something concrete like a house, or if it's something more abstract like a life, a future, a purpose, an experience, I don't know. I feel like you tried to get this person on board, but they weren't having it. They didn't believe you or believe in you, okay? So I feel like this person, you were excited to bring them on board, but they just kind of, either they were too scared, or they didn't quite want to take the risk, or they didn't quite believe in your abilities, that they declined the offer. They said thank you, but no thank you, okay? So I think this recently happened, and I think most people maybe would get discouraged by this, but I think you just went even more deep into this work, and you said, well, okay, if you don't want to be here with me, you don't want to help, I can do it all myself. And I think that's kind of where you're at. I think right now you're still in this period of just doing everything yourself, because maybe you're starting to realize that this person kind of said, no, thank you. I don't I don't want to get involved. Maybe you kind of realize, well, hey, you know what? If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself anyway. I'm almost surprised we don't see the Hermit here. Maybe that mystery card in the Hermit. I don't know. But we see some other things here indicating that you're a little bit of this lone wolf kind of energy with this project. And I think just this experience with this air person made you realize in some way that, okay, I don't really need anyone else to help me. Like, it's something that is intensely meaningful for you, and maybe adding other people into it would just be a little bit more complicating. We'll see how that develops as we go through these cards, though. We're going to go down here beneath the surface real quick. This is the Empress card. This is at the bottom of the path of the dove, so it's kind of beneath the surface. It's either a foundational card or like an unconscious energy for you. I think in this these circumstances, in this context, this is a project, some kind of activity or effort that has really intense, like, emotional, spiritual implications for you. Okay? I think it's something that is not just leading toward a physical stability in the future, or like a business or something. It could still be that, but it also has this component where it has a deep spiritual connection for you, something very emotional here for you. I feel maybe it's in some way related to like a parental figure, maybe a maternal figure in your life, maybe a mom, grandma, maybe an older sibling or an aunt. I feel like there's a real like motherly kind of quality here, a real care and nurturing kind of vibe. Maybe you're the nurturer, maybe you're like the maternal figure or the parental figure, right? It's not gender specific, okay? Anyone can have maternal energy, okay? We know that. But I think in some way it's related to this maternal vibe, okay? So you're setting up something, you're building something, you're working on some project that has this intense meaning and emotional connection for you that's in some way related to this maternal energy, okay? Either from you or maybe from your past or from some kind of an unconscious drive or striving for you. But something there's related to the mother figure. Leave me some comments. Let me know if I'm on the right track or not with that one, okay? But it has a deep meaning for you. You're deeply invested in this on an emotional and spiritual level. So it's not just something you're trying to set up for, for a business, for an income, for a revenue, for security in your later years or something like that. It's something that really has this maternal vibe to it. I don't know if it's some kind of a charity thing, if it's some kind of a, something to do with children or taking care of people, taking care of kids, or taking care of, elderly parental figures or, something like that. Maybe medical. Could be not a strong medical vibe, although the more I look at the cards on the Path of the Serpent, the more I kind of get a medical kind of vibe from it. But it's something with this maternal aspect to it, this nurturing, this care involved, And it's something deeply meaningful for you. So I think whatever it is has a connection to your childhood or your past, and it's being expressed now through this kind of maternal energy, okay? In the immediate future, we see this devil energy. And this is telling me that you are perhaps now, through everything that we've already talked about, you're starting to become more and more and more, I don't know what word to use, kind of isolated, kind of obsessed, kind of this lone wolf energy taken to the max, right? I think that in some ways you've been, because probably this air sign, this air energy person declined to come into this project with you, that now you don't want to let anyone in, right? You're kind of pushing everyone away. And we're going to go, I forgot to mention this, we also have the Knight of Swords up here. So it kind of feels to me like maybe that air sign person is going to see what you've been doing and they're going to change their mind and try to come back in to this project. But you've got this devil energy. I think you're kind of going to say No, I'm climbing this mountain myself. I don't need anyone's assistance. I have the energy. I have everything that I need to manifest this on my own. I don't need anyone's help. And besides, you already said no, so sorry. Doors are closed now. Because I feel like they're kind of like flying back in. And if you can see with the overhead camera, they're kind of, they're swooping back into things. They're kind of trying to change directions. They're trying to kind of like reverse their decision from the past, where they kind of said, nah, not really feeling it. Now they're just like, oh, wait a minute. And they're trying to swoop back in. But you've got this devil energy. I don't think you're really feeling it, And I think you're kind of closing yourself off a little bit more. We don't see anything too isolating here, thankfully. But I feel like you're starting to get that kind of a, kind of that grumbly vibe where you don't want anyone's help. You're like, nah, get out of here. I can do it myself. And you can. Yeah, the thing about the devil energy is that you totally can. You may even work better when you're on your own, doing your own thing, being your own boss, being in charge of everything, doing the physical labor yourself, So I see a little bit more of that energy kind of, it's kind of concentrating in you a little bit, okay? And I just think we should keep an eye on that because we see some things on the path of the serpent, which we're going to go to now, that might indicate a larger group of people getting involved, right, with that Hierophant card. I do just want to say real quick that these cards are always correct, and as the interpreter, I might not know exactly how to associate each card to your particular circumstances. And that's why I ask you to be open, receptive, connect directly with the cards, with the images, with the energies, and use your own intuition, okay? So, again, the Three of Wands, this is something that is intensely meaningful for you. I think that you have like you feel almost a spiritual or moral obligation to do this, whatever this work is. It feels that important to you. It feels like this is something that you have to do, that there's no choice in the matter. It's something that's intensely personal and spiritual, but it feels like almost like an obligation. Maybe you promised someone in your past. Maybe this is something that you've always said that you would do, or you promised someone long ago that one day I'll do this. And so it feels like it's a promise that you can't break. Okay? And I don't know exactly, maybe that's related to this mother figure a little bit. Maybe it in some way involves this air person, I don't know. But it feels to me like there's a promise here that you can't break. And you're someone that doesn't break your promises. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. It would have to be a really tremendous event or an act of God that would require you to break a promise, break an oath. Otherwise, you're doing whatever it takes to fulfill your promises, fulfill your obligations. Excuse me. And that's a big factor for you. I think that's why you are so focused on this, even if this air person, this other energy doesn't want to come into it. You've got that devil energy. You've got to do this. You're committed. You've made the promise, made the commitment. You're obligated to do it. And it would have to be a very serious event to get you to break that promise, break that oath. In your environment, I see this Hierophant card becoming a thing. So this could be related to what you are building. If this is some kind of a charitable organization, an instructional or educational institution, and it may not be that you're physically building the building or the classroom, right? Could be that you're establishing a foundation, you're establishing a scholarship, or and something that's kind of maybe related to either the healthcare thing, or now maybe education, or maybe healthcare, something. But it's got that maternal quality to it, and it's something that is going to help other people. Okay, something that you're building that is, it's going to be something that's going to function into the future. It's just going to create more and more work, more and more business in the future. Okay. That I think is related to helping others in some way. So it could be a charitable organization, it could be a religious organization or service or something like that. Okay. And it's got a maternal component for you. And it's something that is definitely there for other people, to assist other people, to help other people who are in need of whatever these services are. This card could also be talking about cooperation between you and some other people here. I think that there's going to come a point where you need to bring other people in to help you keep this thing going. Okay, that's the other vibe I get from the Hierophant. Don't be too adverse to asking for help when you need it, to bringing on other people who can help do certain things, right? Because yeah, you can do everything yourself, but you don't really need to. Okay, I think there are other people who are qualified that you can either bring on, either like contractors or just people like volunteers. It almost feels like a volunteer kind of thing. Who can help you continue with the next phase of this project. Okay, now we have this Fool energy. This is really some great. This is like a wild card. This is a complete variable here. I think you're the type of person that really is full of surprises. You know, I think that you maybe never really hinted to anyone else that you were working on this, or that you were going to do this, or that you were planning on this. It feels like you're someone that is very, very full of surprises. Like you're kind of unpredictable in a way. And I wonder if sometimes people look at your behavior or your decisions or your actions as being a little bit inconsiderate. Because I feel like you're the person that really does shift gears quickly, you know? And it could be what's thrown off this air energy person over here is just that it was kind of unexpected that suddenly you were involved in this project and they were just like, wait, you're doing what? You never told me about that, you know? So it's a little bit unpredictable, but I feel like that's a real adventurous part of you, right? It's not a negative quality. From the outside looking in, people might say, wow, they're just kind of selfish or inconsiderate. No, that's not you at all, though. That's just people misunderstanding your wisdom for foolishness, right? You have the Fool here. So I think you're really acting from this place of love and adventure and just curiosity and wanting to expand and wanting to just take in as much experience as you can, wanting to give your energy out in every way that you can. And sometimes it shifts rather quickly, you know, so you're a little unpredictable. You're a little bit difficult to really pin down into one activity. And maybe that's why I'm having difficulty finding out exactly what kind of work you're doing or what projects you're working on, because it feels to me like it could be a lot of different things. Maybe you've had medical stuff in the past. Maybe you've had educational stuff. Maybe you have volunteered and done charitable stuff in the past. Maybe this Fool is saying that, look, all of these things, all of these possibilities are true in some form or fashion, right? So it literally could be any one of these ideas or all of them. Okay. And again, I think from the outside looking in, it seems a little unstable, a little unpredictable, a little inconsiderate at times. But you know what you're doing. There's no mistaking, well, there is mistaking, I guess, from the outside. Mistaking your wisdom for foolishness, that's okay. That's okay. It keeps people guessing, right? It keeps people like me too, from really pigeonholing you, narrowing you down to a certain activity, a certain way of being, a certain purpose or intent, you know. Keep everybody on their toes, and I like that. The final card we have is this Eight of Wands. I think the next 8 weeks are going to be very important for you. So, 2 months. So this, all of February, and the rest, the whole of March too, I guess, maybe give or take a few days, right? The next couple of months, let's say, are going to be very important for you in terms of this work. I think it's going to be a lot of busyness for you, a lot of activity. Okay, and I think it's such that your vitality is going to be split into many different directions, and I think that might be why we're getting this feeling of like, okay, you got to start thinking about bringing in other people to help, contractors, volunteers, whatever. Because there's no way you could possibly keep up with all of the responsibilities, all of the tasks, all of the different aspects of this that need your full attention. There's no way that you could do everything. I mean, you could. You got that double energy, but you don't need to. Okay. I think if you did, it would be a disservice to yourself. I think you would drain a lot of your vitality from trying to spread yourself too thin. Okay. So I think the next 8 weeks, next couple of months is going to be a heightened period of activity. A lot of this hard work is going to just increase. Okay, so you really kind of, maybe it's the phase 2 of this thing is just kind of a longer phase and a more intense phase. Maybe this Ace of Pentacles, this first phase was kind of an easy thing, you know, relatively quickly, but now it's going to be kind of a longer process, but intense activity. Okay, so I think you're going to be getting a lot done in these next 2 months, and you'd get even more done if you brought in some extra people to help you, right? I think that's kind of an important thing. Mystery card. Let's see what this is. I don't even want to guess. What did we say that it could be? We said maybe the Hermit? Maybe the Hermit. I'm not thinking Hermit anymore. No, we've got a 10 of Cups. So this is something that has, and this is the water that we didn't have in the reading, right? And now we've got all of the water. Got all 10 of them. So we're manifesting this meaning, this spiritual fulfillment, this satisfaction, this love, this emotional connection. This is a connection to the past, the present, the future. This is the full expression of this water energy, right? So whatever you're working on, I think, has that link to the past. It has a link to the future for longevity, for something that is going to be around long after you're gone, right? It's something that's intensely meaningful and spiritual and emotional for you. Right? This is almost like when you step back and you see what's going on, you see how this is coming together, it makes you want to cry, right? Because it's that beautiful, and you're just that thankful, and you feel that good about it. So I see this as a really wonderful time in your life for a lot of this emotional satisfaction, a lot of meaning here. You're really fulfilling what you consider your purpose, past, present, and future. I think this is really terrific. And I'm very excited for you. I hope you'll let me know in the comments kind of a little bit about what's going on, just for my own curiosity. Anyway, Leo, we're going to look in the extended for a little bit more information. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's right there, and you can have access to all of the extended readings. This was your monthly reading for February 2023 on Dove and Serpent Tarot.